Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? This is Michael Condon, representing the TooMedToo Star Wars Network. We've got your fix, and this is the Holocron House. I believe it is session 19 of the Rise of Skywalker Visual Dictionary, and I have a special guest with me today. You may have seen her yesterday in the show. I tell you guys to guess on who it was, but you probably really don't need it. It is the one, the only Instagram model, magnet, and sticker haver, Delilah.
Hi everybody. We're going to do this book today. We're almost done with it. This is session 19. My dad doesn't know anything. He's stupid. He's an idiot sometimes, but I keep track of everything in his calendar. So this is number 19. There's 2 more to go after this, but I'm going to give it back to you, and maybe I'll come read later on. I don't know. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, Delilah. Thanks for helping out there. Very much appreciated. And let's see here. It's always good when we have Delilah on. We'll get the book ready to go. I put the link on there if anybody wants to hop on, but nobody usually does. So, or they can't. I know Rural Farm Boy and Dale try and get on here, and they can't. But this is brought to you by my patrons. We have on the TooMedToo Star Wars Network Patreon page, Mr. Rez. He was actually the first one to become a patron, but don't make a big deal out of it. He's got a big head anyways, as it is. Then we have Rural Farm Boy, Heidi Federer, Chris from Kentucky, Kylo Ren Flores, and Kylo Customs. If you want to join them, you can go to patreon.com/TooMedToo and just throw some of your hard-earned money this way, and it's not going to go to toys and everything else. It goes to upgrading equipment. And now that I'm getting some books, I'm not going to have to be paying for those. We can get some better equipment a little bit sooner, and that might go towards the iPad, but we'll have to see about that. But all right, well, anyways, that's enough of the housekeeping. Mr. Rez thinks he's number 1. We won't tell him on what list that is, but all right, let's go and get started. All right, I think I may have gotten rid of the glare problem, but I say that every day. But today might be a little bit more truthful on that one. So let's see. Okay, we have on this one the first, whoa, not at all, the Sith Fleet personnel. I'm getting towards the end of the book, so the holder doohickey thingies aren't working as well as they have in the past, but we'll get through it. Don't worry. The Sith Fleet personnel. Well, see, the glare's gone, I believe. But is it bright enough for you guys? I guess you could turn your screen up if it needs to be brighter. But if it needs to be brighter, let me know. But it might bring back some more of the glare. But yeah, it's all up to what you guys want. So you let me know. Okay, for the 5th time, Sith Fleet personnel. Coordinating is... Okay, we're going to start over already. Coordinating the maiden flight of the Sith Fleet are crews of young officers and technicians who have trained their whole lives for this moment in triumph. The thousands of personnel from Exegol were raised as children of the Sith eternal cultists Taught to revere. Wow, it's already started. Taught to revere the power of the dark side, even if they themselves could not harness it, and accept the brutal truth of existence that might sake, for might's sake, is the ultimate end. Through the First Order, rank and file often speak of destiny and its fifth Wow. And its Sith eternal officers who have taken this philosophy deepest to heart, feeling the galaxy is theirs by cosmic right. All right. Oh, and Adam's here. He's my buddy from over on Live It. I got some people over on Live It watching me, so that's good. Don't mess up. Don't mess up as I kick the camera. So we have a fun fact file over here. The Sith fleet rank structure is analogous to the First Order rank structure, both having been patterned after the old Empire Navy. For his unswerving loyalty and decades of experience, Allegiant General Pride is placed in command of the launching of the fleet. The fleet launching is an enormously complex undertaking. Hundreds of Star Destroyers emerge in formation from their underground slips and rise through the ionized air of Exegol. Only upon reaching the cleaner upper atmosphere can they safely leap past light speed. And that's what is was the problem with not a problem with the movie, but in the movie, the problem they had was they couldn't just come out from hiding or where they were being built or stored and just take off. So they needed those minutes to be able to raise to the upper atmosphere, and they were taken control of by the tower, and that's where they then had to kind of sit there and wait, and that's where the good guys were able to pounce. But let's see what we have for capital ship officers. Lieutenant Milton Lenworth. He doesn't seem like he's a lot of fun. He's got a red line, designates officer status. That's not very interesting. Kepi hat with Sith Eternal Crest. Okay. This is Captain Shishel Sambrond. Kind of sounds like Ross's name. Imperial style buckle with officer's disc. Once again, I'm sure they could have come up with something way better about their uniforms that was much more interesting, but maybe they're saving it for the next page. All right, and we have Cecil Sandbrand is from Exegol. She's a human. She's a Sith Eternal. She is 1.62 meters, which is 5 feet 4 inches tall, and she's 30 standard years. And if you notice, pretty much everyone in here, the girls are 5'4", and the guys are all 5'10". Watch, the next one we'll get to. It's going to be different. But all right, so we have the capital ship officers, which they are. We already talked about that. Commissioned and warrant officers within the Sith fleet wear sharp uniforms that make clear the Imperial Navy inspirations, but embellished by the stripes of vibrant red found elsewhere in the Sith Eternal livery. The First Order's fleet was the strongest single military organization in a demonstration in a organization in a demilitarized galaxy. But it was still okay, I'm reading backwards now. But it was still but a fraction. That's all right, that's not my fault. That's weird. Wording on their print. But it was still but a fraction of the Imperial Starfleet at its height, bolstered by the new ships and crew readied by the Sith Eternal, and now the steps closer to the impressive might. Each Star Destroyer carries far greater firepower than the warships that gave Emperor Palpatine unrivaled galactic dominance a generation earlier. And we know from yesterday, I feel like this, I'm teaching you guys. We know from yesterday that I don't know if I'm on camera here. Get it over a little bit. Move that blinky thing on the side. That's my award for being the best podcast to come on. But anyways, most of you probably know that. That we found out yesterday that all throughout this time, this was part of the plan, and money and ships were being siphoned off and ending up on Exegol, while like the original trilogy or was still going on. So that's one of the ways that people always said, well, how did they get away with it? If the US military is building thousands of airplanes a year during times of war, and somebody says, well, I'm just going to put one or two away, every time we produce a bunch or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, you don't really notice as much, but it's a lot easier than you think it would be for all those naysayers out there. But anyways, let's get back to this bad boy. On the bridge of the Defurion Captain, I'm going to need a pronunciation on that, Roll Farm Boy. Captain Sambrode readies the Axel super laser to make an example of a world that has harbored the resistance. The Defurion is the first of the new warships to be launched from Exegol into the galaxy at large. It ruthlessly demonstrates the power, the reinforced First Order. All right, so here we go. Here we got a full fleet technician and all his glory. All right, so the fleet technician. Let's see if I can get a little better on here. Fleet technicians. The new warships of the Sith Eternal contain vast reservoirs of power that must be carefully balanced and managed by a crew of skilled technicians. Like the Imperial ships of the past, these new generation Star Destroyers contain a miniaturized sun within the solar ionization reactor that bulges from their ventral hull. That sounds very dirty. The heavy shielded carbonite and durashield lined chamber collects the energy output of the power core, distributing it to such intensive systems as hyperdrives and sunlight propulsion. Typically, these systems step down the power output to safer levels, but the Axel super laser is a direct tap to the reactor. Should the technician crew that monitor the reactor make a miscalculation, the consequences would be dire. All right, and there we go. We have Adam giving a super chat. Thank you very much, Adam. I really do appreciate that. And maybe there'll be some more to coming from here. Everybody likes to see that. That goes right into the I don't like the way it's looking on. That's too far up. That $2 is going to go right into the iPad fund. So every little bit helps out here and there, and get off of them super chats, and we'll have that iPad in no time. Thank you once again, Adam. I really appreciate that. Okay, down here we see we have a bridge-based duty stations are much more desirable posts than radioactive guts of engineering or super laser maintenance, but whatever they're posting, the technicians feel honored to be part of the fleet. So let's talk about this guy over here. Petty Officer Sumero Quinnet. He has an insulated work helmet, flame retardant duty uniform, reinforced seam to keep out contaminants. That's very important to know that his contaminants are kept out. Synth leather utility belt, dagger shape symbolized an assassin's hidden weapon. All right, now see, that's what we want to know about. Not that he's got a special zipper. Okay, fun data file. Sumeria Quadrant, he's from Exegol, human, Sith Eternal. Oh, he's 1.81 meters, so he's 5'11", not 5'10". So see, as soon as I go and say an assumption like that, we they go and mess up and make me sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. That's Delilah's one that told me that, so that's why I went with it.
Shut up, Dad.
Sorry. Probably still angry when I blame her for things. But all right, let's see. We have a radiation tracker and anti-raid inoculation kit. Yeah, so when they do get the radiation boost, they just kind of take that little shot and boom, They will survive. So we have a technical helmet here based on the helmet design of the old Imperial technicians and naval troopers. The technician's helmet is fully enclosed, filtering the air and industrial gases and blocking out harmful electromagnetic radiation. Status data is sent wirelessly to the helmet receivers and projected on the interior of the visor. Yeah, Rural Farm Boy, you missed it. Delilah was on here to start off. We had a little bit of music playing that you would have hated because you always go, "What's that noise?" It's not like wagon wheels music for you. And then, yeah, Delilah was on here doing a little speech about how she's the best puppy in the world. And I mean, who's going to argue with that? But okay, so now we have the Resistance Assault Force. To defend the Sith fleet before it leaves Exegol, the Resistance musters a force for a brazen ground assault. Intelligence gleaned from a First Order spy, as well as information in Dio's memory banks, sketch a portrait of a massive, staggering area beneath a a comm scan navigation tower. The Resistance must destroy the tower before it can guide the enemy fleet through the magnetic cross-field gravity wells, solar winds, and other chaos of Exegol's upper atmosphere. The single troop transport, the Fortitude, must weave its way past the First Order defense to land on Exegol's surface, sending Resistance troops to sabotage the tower. It is a desperate plan. Okay, and they were just talking about the Fortitude. The Fortitude is down here. I'll drop that for you and hold it there. Nicknamed the Lucky Lander by some troops for its successful track record of dropping out and picking up personnel from combat zones, the Fortitude is a hyperdrive-equipped medium transport. It has reinforced landing skids right there. The cockpit module is all the way right there on the top, and drop-down loading doors to get the people in and out of there. It is a Corellian Engineering Corporation manufactured piece of equipment from the YC-123B transport hauler. Affiliation is Resistance. The height is 7.01 meters. It is 23 feet. It is a length of 26 feet, 0.82 meters, which is 88 feet long. Its crew is 2 pilots, and it has space for 120 passengers. That means it can bring myself and 2 of my friends, because that's all I have, one of which includes Delilah, and the other one is Danielle. Weapons, the 2 CEC FP-35 forward heavy laser cannons, CEC AG-3M triple laser cannon turret. All right, I wouldn't want to be facing that bad boy. But, all right, let's see. I guess we can try and go here and give you a little better picture of this. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. What's up with my camera? I got 3 cameras on this phone, and it only lets me use the one for StreamYard, so I can stream multiple places. So right now, you're getting it streamed into YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. But pretty soon we might have, as soon as I get verified, we might have Livid on there, and then I can stream it right onto my Livid also. But Livid's a lot more interaction. It's kind of like, when I'm talking, I kind of can't pay attention to the chat. Livid's all chat, so it's going to be kind of hard to figure out how I can do all chat and this at the same time. Otherwise, I'm just going to be stopping talking and everything. But whatever. When do I ever stop talking? Anyways. All right. Oh my God, I thought it was my name for a second. I was like, Captain Condon. Captain Conduda. The Fortitude's pilot, Deanna Conduda, was one of the youngest flight instructors at the New Republic Training Academy on Chandrila. She also served as the test pilot for the Corellian Engineering Corporation, splitting her time between duties at the school as the school year permitted. Her own instructors had assumed she would be drawn to the smaller, more agile craft, but Conduda took to large haulers because of the sense of power their thrusters generated. Wow, that should be the septic tank talk. And the challenge inherent to flying these mammoth ships in and out of space dock. This light touch is what will be required to successfully land on Exegol. And then we have up here on top, aboard the Fortitude, Finn and Janna are confronted with the horrifying power and scale of the Sith Eternal forces of Exegol. Like the rest of the Resistance, the infantry resources are severely depleted from the attrition they have faced in the war against the First Order. All right, I'm going to see if I can. I got to move this a little bit just so I can read it better for you, but we'll get a better look at them, I think. Co-pilot Captain Corunda Gandris Dunn keeps the Fortitude defense active as his pilot undertakes dangerous insertion and extraction missions, while Cordana narrows her focus on the safest path to and from the landing zone. Dunn maintains the wider situational awareness of encroaching threats or unforeseen hazards. This requires a mostly unspoken coordination between pilot and co-pilot, and Dunn and Cordana exhibit the chemistry and capability to pull it off. Resistance staffers whispers that their relationship extends beyond the professional. Ooh, I got some tea right there to be spilling. Let's see, what do we got? Real Farm Boy's yelling at my language. R2 beep, turn the page. We know Rural Farm Boy's got a thing for the helmets. So all right, here we got a bunch of little people here over here. And when I say little people, I don't mean it like that. Don't call the whatever police on me. I just mean, they're not a lot of information on them, just little bits. But here we go. Up here on the top, Casey Allegra. She must not have allergies. Allegra is both personal clerk and crack commando, a testament to the cross training requirements needed to fill the perpetual understaffed ranks of the Resistance. Allegra keeps tabs on the Resistance roster of personnel, keeping such files a dedicated data pad she keeps away from any network systems. These the numbers fall into enemy hands. Beyond that, she uses a coded system of her own, devising to keep real names and identities secret. Allegra's familiarity with the Resistance soldiers manifests itself in her habit of referring to them by their home world rather than their name. And she has a modified DH-17 blaster rifle. And then over here in this top corner, I'll move this over so you can see him a little better. Ooh. Got it good there? All right. Agni Golba, a Didon from Dimidia v. Golba, worked the Lothmite mines, setting explosives to new tunnels. When the First Order annexed his world and took over production, Engie escaped from the mines, bringing his explosive talents and zeal for destroying First Order property to the Resistance. All right, we'll go back out here now a little bit and see if we can get that. Is Mr. Rez still here? Is Mr. Rez being a looky-loo? Do we have Mr. Rez? All right, so we have, and it just said there's not a lot of people here. Well, there's 7 people watching on YouTube, but there's 4 people watching other place. Those 4 other people, let me know where you're watching from. Are you watching from Twitch or are you watching from Facebook? But I think if you're watching on Facebook, for some reason, it won't let you comment. That's the problem I was having. One of my buddies was trying to comment the other day on Facebook, and it just had a bunch of 20 things without me responding. And I eventually get to the chat, just not, you know. Reginald Dorkshire, are you in the house? But here we go. This one's hard to read again because the camera's in the wrong spot. But Diania Reekney, she's wearing ground crew fatigues. Okay, the daughter of rebel commander who led a cell the Ferric sector during the Galactic Civil War, Diana Reekney heard her parents say that they had fought against tyranny so she would not have to. They have since passed, but their words have stuck with her. Reekney fights in the resistance so that their efforts are not forgotten. And then over here, we got this dude over here. He is Oliver Olam. I think that looks like a rural farm boy in his younger days. I don't know for sure. Um, just maybe just guessing it. We have, in addition to being a soldier, Olam has been capturing a holographic record in the resistance effort so that history will not forget the beings who forgot such overwhelming odds cleared for any such success by original Organa. General Organa. Olam is a one-man documentary crew gathering stills and moving imagery to one day distill into a concise narrative about the galaxy's return to open warfare. See, I don't know. I just guessed it just by looking at him. He reminded me of Rural Farm Boy. And there they go. He's documenting everything. Like, that's what Rural Farm Boy is just leaving. He's got the mental documentation going on right there and remember everything. And then he's putting in the book, and I'm bringing it all to everybody to share the love of Star Wars. To anyone and everyone. All right, down here we got this dude. He looks kind of angry. He looks like Mr. Rez. His name is Whippelo Nag, a recruit from Batu. Nag helped clear the brush at Agent Kloss to accommodate the new Resistance headquarters. Though considered part of the support crew, his consistently high marksmanship scores and willingness to volunteer earned him a position on the Exegol landing team. And he has a ground team identification placard. We go over here into the middle. As an amphibious Lancerito Rogavi's compound lungs give him an advantage in mission where oxygen levels are thin. A daredevil who enjoys aerial support, he eagerly signs up for the ground assault on Exegol, and it promises an unparalleled adventure. And he is wearing a paratrooper harness, Luke. Very important to know that. Oh, here we go. We got Kylo Customs down here in the corner. Usually I call him an ugly alien, but I think this will be him. We give him the bazooka. It would make him happy. From the rustic planet of Eris, Hansen has witnessed First Order technology fail when it comes into contact with the chaos of the natural world. This bolsters his preference from weaponry and gear to be as straightforward and uncomplicated as possible. He is distrustful of electronics and, surprisingly for the Resistance, droids as well. A heavy weapons specialist, Hannes favors a rocket launcher design untouched civil galactic war. The optics are merely shaped lenses, and the targeting system is an eye. He has a glare blocking visor brim, optical scope, and the HH-12 rocket launcher. And I know I don't like to harp on this, but I always end up doing. He's got a glare blocking rim. Every hat that you wear, the rim or brim or whatever the hell you want to call it, whether it's a baseball cap, well, I guess a hat doesn't really have a brim, so it would be a cap if it does. I don't know, that's a whole other discussion in itself, not to have today. But yeah, I mean, it just like, why are you telling me that it has a glare blocking visor brim? Like, that's what all hats, the intention is for, is to keep the glare out of your eyes. But I digress. Let's see what we got going on in chat. Oh no, Adam, I was just saying, I can see that there's 7 people watching right now on YouTube, but there's 11 people watching total, which means there's another 4 people watching either on Twitch or Facebook. I'm just trying to figure out where those people are watching. Just asking, because I mean, it's cool if people just want to be lurkers and not really talk or chat or do much. I mean, I got no problem with that. It's nice to know where people are watching from. But oh god, we got more reading to do. I like looking at pictures. The next one's a picture, so that's good at least. All right, here we go. Let's see what these people are going to be. I don't know, because I haven't looked at this book in a long time. Are the unaffiliated? Are these the people that show up at the end to whoop some ass? Let's see here. What do we have? The unaffiliated, operating on the margins of society and trying to avoid becoming embroiled in yet another war, are the smugglers, pirates, fringers, and scoundrels of the galaxy. They have long been adamantly apolitical, cherishing their independence to such that they believe any sort of authority to be dangerous. They also consider themselves untouchable by greater causes, as long as they can outrun the gravity of politics and flee to remote systems. But each passing month shows a greater and greater cruelty perpetrating by the First Order and its bid of dominance, and it's harder for the unaffiliated to stay uninvolved. The First Order is a dangerous foe. Of that, there will be no dispute, but apathy may prove just as dangerous. The dangers are coming. The dangers are coming. All right, so now here we have ALI L3. What's that going to be? Ali Lee 3? I don't know. Once a protocol droid in the administrative center of the Kessel Splice Farm, Ali, or rather her incident form witness the droid, we're just calling her Ali, okay. Or Al. Oh no, Ali. Okay. Ali, I guess it is. Witnessed a droid revolution sparked by a new, unique self-made droid. Could that unique self-made droid be L3? And that's where we got the Ali L3 coming from? Very interesting. Going back to Solo, a Star Wars story. This event offered Ali a powerful glimpse to the independent future, but shortly afterwards she was scrapped for disobedience. A kernel of the Independence lived on its back of her processors as she was recycled in the decades since. She has been slowly rebuilding herself and gaining more independence. Ali now operates as a cargo hauler, taking on exclusively droid clientele. She has a paired Glee 44 blaster pistol. Sorry, excuse me. All right. The Fringers took the guarantee that limited reach of the First Order in enforcing interstellar law. It spaceports used by criminals are now filled with First Order spies seeking resistance sympathizers. And here we go. We have Razu Liana. Razu was a track star on Garazina before a Suno-Magri outbreak ended her athletic career. Nuno-Magri? There's no S in there, so it would be Suno. Nuno-Magri outbreak ended the athletic career. After recovering, she bracketed her fame for speed into a legitimate carrier business when larger firms crowded out the smaller operations, she turned to smuggling mostly innocuous items saddled with the costly tariffs or license restrictions. And then over here, oh, we saw her earlier. She's one of those people. Her people were at the Aki Aki festival because they're kind of hot there. Elongated ears and Montrol's. Oh, she has a breathing helmet too, by the way. I forgot to tell you that. Elongated ears and Montrel's give Wilsa keen senses. Antiquated K22995 pilot helmet for her. Wilsa Theshal, a Cassarian Thalis, a Cassarian Thalis, second in line to the throne. Wilsa Theshal vehemently refused the trappings of royalty that were her birthright. Fleeing the palace, she was assumed by many to have been kidnapped by pirates. Instead, she willingly joined the Veiled Sorority pirate gang. Her elite private pilot schooling now serves her well as she targets corporate haulers working for the First Order. Down here we have, it's not Slazino, it is but he is wearing a threat magnifying data goggles. It is Celino Chandro, a former guild bounty hunter. Chandro excelled at capturing Imperial fugitives at the Battle of Endor. His reputation for collecting Imperial bounties left him very paranoid about the First Order reprisals, and he has diligently avoided the First Order contact. He's well armed and flies a modified D-wing fighter. All right, you guys, I need to turn on the air conditioner, so you got to give me like 5 seconds, and I'll be right back. Talk to it amongst yourselves, or just look at this picture. Here, we'll get it set up for you to take a look at.
Ooh, pretty picture.
All right, just take a look at that for a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was, you know how it goes. All right, so here we go. Corpus Callum, a self-styled gentleman flyer of bricks. Corpus Callum is a smuggler who specializes in stolen gems and pieces of priceless art small enough to fit in his personal starfighter. It is less about the riches and more about the challenge. He finds bulk smuggling distasteful. Kelplium has lately been rescuing art objects and heirlooms that were left behind in hurried escapes from First Order occupation, returning these priceless treasures with their well-moneyed owners for a hefty fee. And we see he has an antique phantomoscope monitors vital signs, a dactylian leather gloves, and Clone Wars era Velian flight harness. All right, then over here we have Kumi Asina. She is wearing a static, dissipative foam collar for work repair. The young lieutenant of the now defunct Lumiati Pirates, Asina is a sole survivor of the First Order attack. She callously disregarded the Hosnian cataclysm, claiming the New Republic had got what it deserved. In truth, the destruction was too large for her to process. The Kajimi crackdown, however, hits closer to home for her. Then right underneath her, we have Zule Yurla. Yurla leads to a mercenary starfight squadron that has been offering defense services to systems unable to afford their own fleet. Prior to the outbreak of war, she had been chased out of restricted zones by the First Order and New Republic fighters alike. She flies. Goes into height. Sorry about that. I tried to get the microphone away fast enough, but don't know if it did or not. But all right, let's see. Prior to the outbreak of war, she had been chased out of restricted zones by First Order and New Republic fighters alike. She flies a refurbished U-Wing starfighter, flight helmet, and Karanaka squadron colors. Down here, we got like this Teletubby looking son of a bitch. I don't really know what he is, but we're about to find out. Kid Marshmallow. What's your name? My name's Kid Marshmallow. It's actually Malamash, but I mix up letters all the time. I'm not dyslexic, so I just do it because I'm do. A young she-buck who has yet to populate Kid Marshmallow invested in stealth technology that lines his modified Lancer-class pursuit ship in Nebular Kelpine. For a steep price, he transports refugees, be they wanted criminals, political refugees, or other, to safe zones. But notes he is running out of a viable destination, which is cutting into his profits. Okay, and then over here we have this guy, Sidon Ethano. He has on a Kashi battle helmet, a famed Dephiliadon pirate. Sidon Ethano is known to some as the Crimson Corsair. Oh, the Crimson Corsair, yes, that makes much more sense now, because that's what he's known as. The First Order patrols have severely diminished the loot captured by his crew, so Athano has found new businesses selling captured weapons. The uncertainty of his new galactic war, he has recently made a substantial sale of cache of vintage super battle droids to Carrying Car and his Warbird pirates. Sidion finds it harder to spend his credits now that many of his favorite haunts have been destroyed. And he has a Surzica Arms Log SWAT 44 Sniper Blaster Rifle. And I think that's going to do it for today. But there's a beautiful looking ship right there. A bunch of them. And this is what they were talking about or I think on the first page we talked about it. What does it say? Harbinger's Doom. Destiny hangs in the balance. If the Sith Eternal Fleet escapes into hyperspace, all will be lost. The galaxy will descend into a new dark age from which many never rise again. The resistance must be prepared to sacrifice everything to prevent it. And I mean, yeah, that's, this is what we talked about as soon as we signed on today. We had them, they have to pull up and they have to sit there and wait till they get high enough and into a different elevation because of the atmosphere. They can't just go take off. And it's kind of like when you have planes and a runway. Like, I'm just making an example here, just as a comparison, really. You have planes on an aircraft carrier, which is kind of what these are. They're in a holding pattern ready to take off. And you have all this firepower, no one can ever defeat you. But somebody gets on and blows up a couple of the ships and they all get destroyed, and then they can't take off to show their powerful might. That's kind of where we're going with that. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. Behind the scenes, bam! Oh, that's gonna be the next one, and let's see how many pages we got on that one. We're at 188 to we got 10, 11, 12. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll just break it up in a couple quick little half-hour ones. We'll do one tomorrow and one over the weekend, and we'll see. And then, I guess Shannon's live now, so we'll go over and catch that. And with that, I said good day. May the force be with you. Always.
Wait, Dad, I want to come talk to everybody. Hi, I'm Delilah, and wait, Dad,